What's going on, y'all? Thank you for checking in with Callie. Please like, subscribe if you haven't already. So, you know, I always talk about winning intangibles. I always talk about being at your best when your best is called for. And I always talked about Kawhi Leonard as being one of those type players. But, winning intangibles is not something that I think a lot of players come into the league with. I think a lot of players come into the league wanting the money, trying to fix their family situation, and be at their best and on the court as well, just so they can make a mark and make a name for themselves to be a potential superstar. But to have winning intangibles, it goes so far because it helps you win championships. It helps you develop a character as a basketball player, as an athlete. And when I hear things like what I heard from James Harden, speaking about the last game they played, the Utah Jazz game, where James Harden speaks here and says, we need to win this game. We need to have swagger. We need to, go out with a bang going into the All-Star break. We need to have that dog mentality. We need to find a way to win this game. And he tells Ty Lue to leave him in the game, even though that's a regular season game, even though that's a game where it's not as much magnitude as a playoff game and it doesn't have as much magnitude as a finals game, playoff, or anything in that implication, or any type of seeding, indication as well. Even though it possibly could, because you want to win every game, especially going into the All Star break, because you want to be at your best. And the seeding from the in the Western Conference is very tough. So I will say it might have some implications with that, but it also shows that James Harden is really starting to develop some winning intangibles, something I haven't seen from him pretty much throughout his whole career. I mean, even way back in OKC, from the Houston days, even all the way up to the Brooklyn days or even Philadelphia, just the winning intangibles like that, the winning mindset is rare. And being around players like Kawhi Leonard, you got to give Kawhi credit. A lot of people say Kawhi isn't a leader. A lot of people say Kawhi isn't a lot of things, but I feel like he leads his team in ways that the media doesn't speak about and they don't give him credit for. Because think about it like this: if he wasn't a leader, if he didn't have winning intangibles, he wouldn't be a two-time NBA champion. He wouldn't be a two-time Finals MVP. He's those things because he leads his team in different ways that other players might not, or just not vocalize as much as what other players do. So he doesn't get the credit that other players might get in regards to that. But when you listen to James Harden say things like that, that's a winning mentality. And being around somebody like Kawhi Leonard every day, well, I feel like that's helping develop him. And I always said him playing with somebody with Kawhi Leonard mindset, or playing for a Greg Popovich, or playing for somebody like that on a Spurs team, James Harden would have been a whole hell of a lot better player than what he was even on Houston, because he would have had winning in his mind rather than just scoring and being a top player with assists and being one of the best players in the league, winning MVP the way he did. So I feel like now the Clippers have even more of a chance to win if they have a James Harden that's locked in on that type of level. Because I've never seen or never heard of James Harden locked in on that type of level. I'd say maybe one season he had with Chris Paul where they went to the Western Conference Championship and they lost to the Warriors, where Chris Paul, I think, missed that game. And I thought that was their best chance to win, but he was really on one at that time back then. But I mean, that was really only the one season that they had to really go forward, and they couldn't do it. So with that being said, it really just didn't resonate how they wanted to, and he just went through season to season. After that, got older, and just really had bad luck to me, honestly, from the Brooklyn situation to Philly situation. Now he's with the Clippers, and now his situation looks a whole lot better because this team is really built from top to bottom. When you look at the way they added Ben Simmons, and the way what he can contribute if he stays healthy. Bogdanovich looks pretty good. I mean, Kawhi is Kawhi, obviously. Norm Powell is like just a scoring machine. And then you look at, the defensive pieces that they got: Chris Dunn, Derek Jones Jr. I mean, and then the guys I just named have defense as well. Zubac is playing great. Eubanks is definitely a big addition. Patty Mills will be a big addition in the playoffs or down the stretch when they need him to hit big shots. And then Ty Lue is really pretty much orchestrating the team the way it is. So honestly, the front office got to give them a little bit of credit. They put together a team that's pretty solid. They put together a team that can compete, and they put together a team that I think they compete for a lot more than what people might have gave them credit for when Paul George left. Because now that Paul George is gone and Russell Westbrooks are gone, the team actually looks a lot better. They look like they gel a lot better than what they did even more so than last year. And look at Paul George struggling, not moving the needle for the 76ers. And, that's what happens when you take the money rather than, try to win. And that's the reason why I said Paul George was never a winner to me. And having a player like him on your team is always a lag. It's never really an upgrade. And I feel like the Clippers will do a whole lot better without players like that who don't really have winning intangibles and who don't want to learn it. Because he was on the Clippers a while and never had winning intangibles and a winning spirit to me. Not really in my mind, but regardless, I feel like James Harden is picking up on it, and the little things go a long way. And I feel like if he can stay healthy, Kawhi can stay healthy, and everybody else in this team can stay healthy. Well, I mean, the Clippers, honestly, they might be, they really actually might be the best team in the West before it's all said and done.